Welcome to guitar lesson number 1 for absolute beginners, people who have no idea anything about the guitar. I'm going to be teaching you how to play the guitar, how to hold it correctly, good form, everything you need to start learning how to become a proficient guitar player. First, I will say how to hold the guitar. You want to take the guitar and place it over, if you are right-handed, place it over your right leg. If you're left-handed, you would place it over your left leg. Although I think left-handed players should try to learn to play the guitar on the right side. It'll just open you up a little bit for what kind of guitars you can own in the future. Okay, next I want to do a quick rundown of what each of the parts of the guitar are and what they do. So this is the body of the guitar. It holds all the parts together, and that all the sound resonates through this. This is the bridge. The strings go through into there. These are pickups. They pick up the sound that the guitar makes from the strings and puts them out through the electrical to make an electrical signal. This is the input jack. That's where the signal goes out from. Volume knob, tone knobs. This one adjusts how much bass or treble there is in the pickup here, and this one adjusts how much bass or treble there is in the pickup here, or in this, and on certain guitars, the back one too. This is the pickup selector switch. It chooses which pickup is on. If it's in this position, this pickup will be on. If it's in this position, this pickup will be on. This is the neck of the guitar. That is where you fret the notes. These are frets. The steel parts, these steel bars, they're frets. They help you make different notes on the guitar. These are the fret markers. They help you understand where you are on the fretboard. This is the nut. It holds the strings in place. Those are the tuning machine heads, and they are all held on the headstock. Strap buttons, and the white part is called a pick guard. Also, this is the tremolo arm. I think that about does it for parts of the guitar. So if you have an electric guitar, you want to plug it in, the cord, and you want to take the plug it into your amplifier. So on my amplifier, the input is right there. Sometimes it'll be in the front. You want to plug it in the one that says input. Then turn on the power. If you have a tube amp like this, you'll want to turn the mute off, and just make sure you're not gonna blast yourself with too much volume. Make sure the one that says master or volume will control the volume. Gain also is a secondary volume control. Set all the EQ settings in the middle, so bass, middle, and treble, just put them in the middle for now. If you have reverb, you can turn it on or leave it off. If you have other effects, I would say try to turn them off. The only effect you should be using as a beginner should be reverb. I would stick it to that. So I'll turn the guitar volume on slowly. I'm going to put it up to 5. It's pretty quiet. So that's on 10, and everything's working properly. Alright, so we have sound coming out. So what's next? We're going to talk now about the picking hand. When you hold the pick, you want to make sure that it's in a position that's comfortable for you. You can't have the pick in a position that's uncomfortable, otherwise you're not going to be able to play proficiently. Personally, for me, what I find works is take the pick, put it on your thumb at about a 90-degree angle almost, maybe a little bit more this way, and then take this finger and then gently place it over the side like that. Don't put too much pick out, but don't put too little either. You want a little bit, something like that. Next, keep your hand very loose, and then you can strum like this. So next, we're going to learn the correct posture for the left hand. Now, a lot of people, when they start playing, they want to play like rock stars, and they put their thumb all the way over like this. You're going to find it's nearly impossible to fret certain chords if you're trying to play like this all the time. I would say this grip does have its advantages in certain applications, but for the most part, I would say stick to what I think a lot of people call the classical grip for playing classical guitar, which is put the thumb on the back of the neck like so. That way you have a lot of free range of motion with this hand. You have a lot of reach. You can reach around from on the bottom strings and on the top strings. Now it's important that while many people will have a guitar tuner on their phone or an actual tuner device, it's very important to also learn to tune by ear. So what I want you to do for this first part is tune your guitar as close as you can to mine. So we'll start with the high E string, which is the first string. And the way the tuners work is if you turn them, normally if you turn them counterclockwise, it will tighten it and therefore make the pitch go up. And if you turn them clockwise, the pitch will go down and the sound will be lower. So if I twist it, that's tightening the string and it's making the sound higher. That's loosening the string and making the sound go lower. So by twisting your tuning keys on your guitar, try to match the sound on my guitar. So here's the first string. And you may hear a little bit of a buzz or like a warbling effect if you play that while I'm playing this. The key when tuning is to make that warbling effect disappear as much as you can. So here's the next string, the second string. All right, here's the third. Here's the fourth. Here's the fifth. And here's the sixth. Alright. All your strings should be tuned by now. And now I'm going to teach you a little mnemonic to help you remember what notes each of the strings are by default. There are 6 strings on a guitar. The notes are as follows. On the 6th string, E. On the 5th string, A. On the 4th string, D. On the 3rd string, G. On the 2nd string, B. And on the 1st string, E. So that's E, A, D, G, B, E. Now the mnemonic to remember this is Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Pretty simple, right? Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. So that's how you can remember E, A, D, G, B, E. And you'll probably notice also that I said E twice. That's because there are 2 E's on the open strings. There's the low E, and there's the high E. Notice they're the same note? That is called an octave, but we'll get into that later. Alright, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you your first chord, so you'll be able to start playing the guitar. First chord will be an E minor chord. Now, major chords tend to sound happy, and minor chords tend to sound more sad. So a major chord would be like, sounds happy, right? And a minor chord would be like, sounds more sad, right? So that's the difference between major chords and minor chords. I'm going to teach you your first chord, which will be the E minor chord. I'm going to number the fingers 1, 2, 3, 4. So your second finger would be your middle finger, first finger would be your pointer finger or index finger, your third finger would be your ring finger, and your fourth finger would be your pinky. So using the middle finger and the ring finger, the second and third fingers, I want you to take the middle finger and place it on the second fret of the fifth string. So this would be this string, fifth string, and use the second finger. After that, I want you to take the ring finger and put it right underneath it, also on the second fret, but on the D string or fourth string. So you have that there. Next, so now that you have the positioning down, I want you to take your thumb, move it to that classical position that I showed you before, so that you have this nice arch. Now I want you to avoid bending your hand like this. It is terrible for the wrist. It's very bad form. I want you to try to keep it straight as you can. Put that thumb on the back of the neck so that you get this nice arch. And what that'll do is it'll help all the strings to ring clearly. Then I want you to take your fingers, move them close to this fret. The closer your fingers are to this fret, the clearer it's going to sound until you're on top of the fret, and then it's not going to sound very good. So you want to keep them close to this fret. The farther you are back, also the harder it is going to be to play it. So you want to stay somewhere in the middle of the fret. Just a quick reminder, second finger on the fifth string, second fret. Third finger on the fourth string or D string, also on the second fret, right underneath it. Hand in the classical position so that you can get this nice arch here. You want to keep your wrist you don't want it to bend it too much like that. I see some guitarists do that sometimes. It's not really good. It's definitely not good to do it for a long time. So just like that. And then with your picking hand, if I'll remind you, the pick position was something like that. Then holding the pick lightly, but not too lightly that it's going to fall out, strum. That is what your first chord should sound like. That is an E minor chord. So next what you can do is practice strumming with this down and up. These are called upstrokes, these are called downstrokes. Very simple. And you can practice all sorts of strumming patterns. There's ones that go like, there's ones that go like, there's all sorts of stuff you can do with strumming, but I want you to practice just strumming this chord like, and once you can do that proficiently, then we can move on to doing some more chords, and then we can make combined chords to play the harmony in the song. So that was our guitar lesson number 1. Come back next time, and I hope to see you in guitar lesson number 2. Alright, see you.